Okay, here we are, back again. Sorry, I didn't get back when I said I was going to come back. Helen Sharman did turn up. She was hopping mad. She'd been watching this, and she screamed on over, and was quite cross with me. I don't know, wasn't expecting it. I thought she was coming here to sort of just say well done for including her in my talks. She was really, really cross, and I guess she's got a point. She says I've been very sexist in my last section, and I have to hold my hands up. I guess it was fairly sexist thing. I'd say I wasn't really thinking, really. I was just talking just straight off the top of my head, and I guess deep down I'm a bit of a sexist, I suppose. But yeah, she's right. It was wrong of me to say those things. I should never have just accused without knowing, without having really checked, that, you know, just said out offhand that just because it was only men up there that they hadn't done the washing up. And of course, apparently, it wasn't as bad as I made it out to be. Sure, it could have been better, but it wasn't as bad as I was making out. So apologies. You know, I have to just hold my hands up to that very sexist previous section. Anyway, she couldn't stay. She had a quick drink with me, and then off she went. But anyway, so we'll resume now. She gave me a few hints about how to go about the experiment I was going to do. Which I told you about last time. So if you remember, we're going to set up two workstations. There's me over there, and then Helen Sharman, the space rocketeer, over there. So obviously she's gone, and I'm sat down now, so I'm not actually going to get up there and actually do it. We're just going to have to imagine I'm over there, and I'm going to talk you through it, and we're going to have to imagine Helen's there. So anyway, so you may or may not know that my workstation is a sort of upright concrete or breeze block, what they call a banker, and on top of this is the work I'm working on. I can turn it around, and I can walk around it all the way around and work, you know, chip. And Helen, she's in her spacesuit. She's doing what's called an EVA. I think I mentioned the EVA before and told you I'd tell you what it means. EVA stands for extra vehicular activity, which is to do with when she goes outside the space station. So she needs to go outside sometimes. You know, when she's cleaning the windows, she just can't just clean the inside of the windows. It's more likely because of all the shite that being thrown out of the waste chute. There's sometimes quite a lot of rubbish on the window, or, you know, dust and stuff like that. So she needs to get out and clean that, and maybe adjust the TV aerial. I don't know. So yeah, I avoid saying that the men can't be bothered to go out. Whether they can or not, it's neither here nor there. Nothing to do with me. I'm not going to make that comment. But anyway, it's very often it seemed to me that it was down to Helen to go out and do the adjustment of the aerial. So she had to go out there, and she has to get in a suit. Obviously, she's going out to vacuum. Apparently, we explode if we're in a vacuum. So you have to be careful, apparently. If you read the instructions on the vacuum cleaner, you have to be careful about that, because too close to a vacuum and you do explode. Of course, none of us read the instructions, do we, when we're doing vacuum cleaning? Anyway, so she has to go out there, and we're going to imagine her workstation basically is her clambering around the outside of this space station, and try not to make too much noise in case there's people inside asleep. So she's over there, and you've got to imagine she's in her suit. So she's got a helmet. It's obviously the pink suit, and it goes right over the high heels, stilettos or whatever you call them, and everything is sealed in, hermetically sealed, basically. So nothing can come in and nothing can go out. This stops her exploding, and it also allows her to breathe because all her air is inside with her, and there's scrubbing things that scrub the air, apparently, that keep her going. But so everything that's inside stays inside, and there's me, you know, with all my vast experience doing my work, chipping. Maybe I'm doing a portrait. Maybe I'm doing a portrait of Helen Sharman, even. You know, she's. I've seen her now close up, and she's all right. I would happily do her. So let's say I'm doing her. You know, doing her over there. Okay, and there she is over there doing her work. Okay, so right. So imagining now, me chipping. She's clambering around, polishing the windows or whatever. Now then, when you're chipping away limestone, it has got sulphur apparently inside it. When you chip it, you can smell. There's an aroma. It smells like eggs basically, And I remember when I was at my stonemasonry course, first of all, didn't realise this. We weren't told about this, and I was chipping away, and I just thought, I wondered if I was standing next to a Russian cousin or not, actually, because he stunk. Well, I thought it was him stinking. It wasn't. It was the student next to me. I thought it was him, and I moved away. The smell just stayed there because it was my stone. Anyway, but if I do it here now that I'm aware of it, if that's, you can't do anything about the smell, but you can walk around or walk away or whatever. And if I'm chipping away, and sometimes it's not limestone, it may be a different type of stone which doesn't smell the same, but I may have, well, how can I put it? I may have made a smell myself. Okay, I can just walk around the other side of the sculpture and work on the other side instead. Now, imagine. Now, I know, having been a woman myself, and we all saw the advert, which I can't remember what the product was, but it just came out and told us that women fart 15 times a day. Well, I know personally from my experience with women and having been one myself as well, it's rather more than that, I can assure you. But anyway, so it's unlikely that Helen would have got out, suited up, done her job, and then got back in without, and what can she do? She's in her hermetically sealed suit, so she can't. She's in there with it for the duration, isn't she? And I mean, this is didn't come out in conversation when she was here just now, but I did want to ask her. I wanted to ask her, and that's what I was thinking to myself. Well, that's what she should be telling us, shouldn't she? That's what you, I'm sure, want to know. You don't really care. I mean, it was very interesting about the seed she, stuffed down her cleavage. The flower seeds that I talked to you about last time, to smuggle them up there. But that's only goes so far, the interest, doesn't it? But what we really do want to know is, what happens if you fart in your spacesuit? I can tell you, it's boring. It's not funny. There's nothing funny or interesting about if I, on the rare occasions that I do make a smell, I can just hotfoot it out of there. Maybe even leave the studio. But she, so we want to know, basically, Helen, and she'll watch this, I'm sure, because she's obviously very interested in what I was talking about. We want to know, Helen, what do you do when you fart? And this leads me on then to, so I've worked it out, how Helen can improve her audience ratings, perhaps command a higher ticket price, and just get us just basically interested in what you're talking about. Because frankly, Helen, it's all very well, but it's not particularly interesting, is it? It's certainly not funny. But who's not going to laugh if she tells us about her farting in the spacesuit? We're all going to titter, aren't we? We're going to have a little giggle, and we will talk about that in the street with each other and say, oh, Helen Sharman, she had a little fart in a spacesuit. How funny, and that could go on for a long time. Old Micky Flanagan, he could milk that. He could make that last the whole show, I reckon. But anyway, but that's a whole raft then of things. I mean, we've been sending people up to space for, as I said, about 100 years now, and well, I don't know what made them go up in space in the first place. Was it just because it was there, or was it because there was some specific task to be accomplished? Or not task, they call it mission, don't they? By the way, on that subject, from now on, I'm going to call all my works, they're missions now. They're not commissions, or they're not. I could call it commission, couldn't I? Commission, but they're not any. I'm not calling it any other form of. There's no other word for the endeavour of the sculpture. They're all going to be missions from now, because I bonded with Helen. I had a lot in common with her when she came around here. Anyway, so what was I going to say? So yeah, we've been sending these people up into space. Most of us mostly British, but of course, as I mentioned, the dirty. Well, I expect the Russians. They were the dirty bastards. I reckon all the other nationalities up in space station. Yeah, I bet they pulled their weight. But anyway, not a peep about what happens. And that's the other thing. They should have sent women up straight away. We want to know what's it like to snog in space. We don't know, but I'm sure that's the first thing that we want to know. Well, what's it like to fart in a space suit? What's it like to snog? What's it like to piss? What's it like to shit? What's it like to puke up in space? And the very first week of sending people up into space, they should have actually basically been reporting back to us, what is it like to shag in space? That's the very first mission that they should have accomplished is to send a couple of decent looking, you know, people up there, and whether they filmed it or not, you know, that's neither here nor there. But we want to know firsthand from the horse's mouth what it's like to shag in space, because until we found out there's any point in going to, you know, if it's any good or not, there's no point going up into space, is there? What are they doing up there apart from, you know, making a mess? So I just thought, well, okay, you know, so I've sorted it out for Helen. That's what she needs to be talking about. And then I thought to myself, well, maybe I need to tell you a bit more about the sort of more visceral side, what's going on here. Perhaps you don't really care about sculpture, but by me telling you about the sort of stuff. I mean, for example, you know, there's people that go up there into space for months on end. Now, you can't tell me. I only have to come into the workshop, into the studio here, and within half an hour, I'm taking myself into the corner there. We've got Wi-Fi here. I'm sure they got Wi-Fi in space. They're right up. You know, the further up you go, the better the Wi-Fi signal, isn't it? And so they would have had absolutely spot-on, crystal clear, you know, porn channels up there. And you can't tell me they're not doing that. And I'm in here 10 minutes, and I'm over in the corner over there, and by the wine. And well, you don't need to know, but you know, that's perhaps the sort of things I should be telling you about. And by sort of adding on, you know, about what I'm doing, the serious work I'm doing here, then you perhaps, you know, you find it more interesting because I'm telling you about these sort of things. Anyway, so yeah, that's I've sorted it out for Helen now, and now I'm kind of thinking, right, I'm really on the go now. I'm thinking I can actually, you know, present to you in a different way. We're going to park that as well. There are a couple of other ways we can talk about figurative stone sculpture as well. And but I'm going to go on about that the next time. We've had a few minutes now, and it's probably time to go and have a piss. And as I said, I actually haven't been out to that corner yet, so I'm going to just be with you in a minute. All right.